Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So this is my latest masterpiece. It's got a lot of work to go though. This is Sierpinski's Carpet. It's a mathematical structure, and I hope to submit it to Lego Ideas in the near future. After I patch up a few things, I really didn't think about how heavy these tiles would be, and the base plate I used was a little bit more floppier than I had thought. I'm thinking about getting those. There are base plates that are a little bit thicker and have holes in the back of them for support rods. And then I got to think about what Lego pieces to use in order for it to hang very well. And a few other details. There's a lot of empty space. I also thought about some borders for the Stravinsky's carpet to make it look a little bit better. And also, there's a bunch of empty spaces. There could be room for other art in here. Maybe with the 27 by 27, you could probably do a Mondrian square in there as well. Feel free to leave any comments on what you think might be helpful in here, right? And then I'll fire off the submission. I'm hoping to. I have a very special day in mind for submitting this, but continue to pray for me. Something I noticed about having. So I talk extensively on this channel about having multiple directions in my career, right? So, for example, I do a lot of other art as well, both metal casting, painting. I got a few other projects I'm thinking of that I'll unveil in the near future. I want to make sure that they're a go before I talk about it here. And then I do a bunch of, I teach at a community college and I do a bunch of tutoring gigs. There's a reason I like having multiple career directions like this. Number one, the sense of security, right? Uh, I'm just about to head out the door to the college, and if anything goes untoward there, right? Bad news there isn't so bad anymore, right? When you have multiple jobs and careers like this. The other issue is the lack of uh, 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 the feeling of having a grind, right? Every time I get started with something, right? The metal casting, for example, and I get myself too far ahead, what starts as a hobby often becomes a grind. I've learned I have to change it up a little bit to avoid that kind of problem. That's why I'm taking a break away from the Bismuth as I submit something to Lego ideas, and it reduces the monotony of things, right? If I had, instead of doing this right now, I teach three courses across two colleges. If I didn't have the art project and I taught five courses instead, right, I don't think I would do nearly as well in each course. I would have a lot of monotony, and just even when I do what I love, if I do it over and over and over and over and over again, it becomes a grind. I hope I take a break away from the Bismuth long enough this time that when I go back, it's like a new hobby again. That's what I'm shooting for. The last couple of times I tried to take a break, I didn't go long enough, it seems like. And so, good thing is I have a lot to sell still. I have time to take away from it now. The other thing is that I talk about how there's a lot of security, right? None of these things have to be a go. The submission to Lego Ideas doesn't have to be a masterpiece, right? Even if I don't make it to the Lego Ideas, if I only sell locally, that's fine too, right? I got all these other things backing me up. The other thing is that it allows me to take a lot more risk, right? So, for example, at the college that I'm heading to in a few moments, uh, I can afford to take risk, right? I don't have to play Simon Says with everybody over there, right? Not only that, but uh, I get to take on riskier and riskier things that might pay a little bit better. Right? It's hard for me to explain. Right? It's kind of like if you had imagine that you figured out a way. We all know that when you're investing in the market, the older you get, the more conservative your investment has to get, right? But imagine you invented some kind of medicine that allowed you to live to be 10,000 years old, right? The way you would invest, not only are you getting 10,000 years of returns, but the way you get to invest changes drastically, right? You're not gonna be investing in a lot of conservative things anymore, right? Well, that I liken it to that, right? You get more room to take risk, right? So, for example, it extends beyond just career, right? For example, I'm thinking about asking this girl out on a date, and I get to take a lot of risks there too because if it doesn't work, I got so many things to. I don't even have time to go on this date with her, right? I would love for her to say no, and that's when I really get to take risks now, right? And where else does it extend? When I was first negotiating with the owner of this house, I found this on roomies.com. I also took a lot of risk in the negotiation, in large part because I have so many things going on in so many parts of Phoenix. It's not the end of the world if I don't get this place, right? I would so much love to look for somewhere better anyway, right? And so you get the idea, right? That the risk appetite extends beyond the career aspects of it, right? But I want you guys to continue to pray, even though I don't need for this Lego idea to become a masterpiece. I still it would be nice, and the reason for that is 2 nights ago I was up until 4 a.m. doing this. Now it's really unfortunate. I had ordered all these.com. There's a web where you can literally specify how many of what piece you need, and of how many of each piece I need, but frustrated because I have the wrong number of pieces. And when I went to bed, okay, am I back online? I was disconnected. I when I was up until 4 a.m. doing the Lego art, and when I finally went to sleep, I was tired out of my mind. I descended into heaven in terms of how I felt, and very seldom do I sleep like that. In fact, I slept so tightly that it felt like only 3 seconds later did I look at the clock, bombed out like that. I love that feeling though. I wish I could do it more. And it made